First look at Evolution X version 5.3 based on Android 11 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and guess what? We finally have a build of Evolution X based on Android 11 for the Xiaomi Poco F1. As you can see, the version here is 5.3 Lightning, and it is of course based on Android 11. And before you ask me, hey Munchie, this is the unofficial build, well, I have some very good news for you. Even though this is an unofficial build, the developer behind this build is Lakshay, the same dude who maintains Pixel Experience for the Poco F1. Security patch, as you can see, is from January 2021. The kernel they are using is Etude kernel from January 26th, and SE Linux of course is set as enforcing. So out of the box, the build comes with Pixel Launcher baked in. Let us have a look at the recents. Bam, here are your recents. Everything is smooth. Let us check whether the select option is working or not. Bam, works like a boss. Screenshot works absolutely fine. Three different options when you take a screenshot: share, edit, or delete. Tap on share, and then you'll have the quick share menu, and here press and hold on any application, and you can now pin the application to your quick share menu. Next up, if you swipe to the right, you do have access to your Google feed. Again, there are no jitters and no lags. Volume panel, here's the volume panel. You do have the expanded volume panel, and yes, Evolution X does let you customize the volume panel in case you want to do that. Then let us have a look at the quick settings panel, but before that, as you can see, when you access your notifications and quick settings, you do have the blur and zoom effect, which of course you have to enable in the display options. Then this is how your quick setting panel looks like. The options which have the down arrow besides them, press and hold, and it is going to either take you to that specific setting, or it is going to bring up another menu at the bottom of the screen. Then in case you want to add more tiles, here are the other tiles which you can add, and as you can see, that is a pretty big list of the tiles which you can add. And yes, you do have gaming mode present over here. And other than that, you also have the screen recorder from Android 11, which does let you record device audio and microphone at the same time. And let us start it. There it is, screen recording has started, and there is no UI lag when you are recording your screen and microphone at the same time. And yes, you do have notification history here as well, which is working without any issues. Then we can also have a look at the power menu. So bam, here it is. This is how your power menu looks like. Tap on advanced and you have the advanced power menu options as well, which includes restart, bootloader, recovery, and system UI. Next up, Hey Google works without any issues with the screen turned on. And let us turn off the screen, and Hey Google, can you listen to me? There it is. Hey Google works with the screen on and with the screen off as well. Next up, if you press and hold on the empty space on your desktop, go into styles and wallpapers. Bam, here it is, Pixel 5 style wallpapers application, and you also have the exclusive Mandalorian wallpapers baked in. Going to style, you have different themes which are available. Of course, you can create your own custom theme as well. So here are the different font options which are there, and have a look at that pretty big list. Then tap on next. Here are the different icon options which are available. Tap on next, accent color options. Here's a big list of the accent colors as well. Tap on next, then you can choose the icon shapes. Here is the list of icon shapes on your screen right now, and then give it a custom name and save it, and you should be good to go. Other than that, the third option is for grid. So either you can use default 4x4, 3x3, or 2x2. Next up, let us go into settings, network and internet. Tap on the Wi-Fi name, tap on it one more time. you have a new option in the center for disconnect, and you also have a toggle to enable auto connect on a per Wi-Fi basis. Other than that, in network and internet, you also have adaptive connectivity. Next up, we'll move over to apps and notifications, and here we'll go into see all apps. Let us choose the Chrome application, go into permissions, camera, here it is, three different options: allow only while using the application, ask every time, or deny. Then you also have a toggle to remove permissions if the app isn't used for some time, and that some time is 90 days. Go into mobile data and Wi-Fi, and you have per app network isolation as well, so you can determine whether Chrome has access to Wi-Fi data, cellular data, background data, VPN data, or you can give it unrestricted data usage in case you want to. Next up, you also have priority conversations, and in case you want to see your notification history, make sure you enable it from this option, and then you should be able to access your notification history as well. Next up, we have battery. So in battery, you do have the optimization profiles, wherein you can choose a profile for a specific application, and here are the options on your screen right now for the different profiles which are available. Go into battery saver, and yes, you do have extreme battery saver in case you want to use extreme battery saver. Then you also have adaptive battery, last full charge, screen usage since last full charge, and the battery temperature is also present. Moving over to display, so in display you do have brightness level, dark theme. Yes, with Android 11 you can schedule your dark theme to turn on at a custom time in case you want to, and once you enable dark theme, you'll have the option of color bucket enabled, and herein you can choose the different themes. And yes, you do have a clear theme as well in case you want to use the clear theme on your device. Next up in display, we do have live display, and within live display the first option is reading mode. As you can see, works without any issues. Then you also have color calibration, so you can configure the RGBs. Those of you with screen retention issues, this is a pretty nifty feature, and in case you screw up, you can always use the reset button to go back to the default settings. Adaptive brightness is present, works without any issues. Styles and wallpapers, we already talked about this. Next up, we have screen timeout, and yes, you can configure your rotation angles for 0 degree, 90 degree, 180, or 270. Then you can configure the font size, display size, the DPI, screensaver. Go into lock screen, bam, here it is. You have the option for double tap to check your phone, wake the screen for notifications, ambient wake gestures, then always on, but this is going to work only when the device is charging. Then you also have ambient music ticker. Go into advanced, and you can configure your ambient display like pickup, hand wave, and pocket mode. All these options are present and they work without any issues. You also have double tap to wake, pocket detection, blurs, and when device is in VR. So here it is. Double tap to wake works without any issues. Double tap to sleep also works. And next up is sound. So in sound, the first option which you have is to link and delink your ring and notification volumes. Then in case you want to see the volume panel on the left, you have a toggle for that as well. And guess what? We just got an Android 11 Easter egg cat. So as you can see on your screen right now, Bubbles is working on this build without any issues. However, an important thing to note here is that WhatsApp does not support Bubbles right now. Then in sound, you also have a toggle for increasing ring volume in case you want to use that. Then you can also configure the volume steps for alarm, DTMF, music, notification, ringer, system, and voice calls. OnePlus vibration patterns are also present. Then you also have do not disturb from Android 11, which can be configured on people, app, and alarm basis. Live caption is present. Adaptive sound is present as well, and again, this is a pixel feature drop. And in case you want to know more about adaptive sound, feel free to pause and read what is on your screen right now. Then you also have shortcut to prevent ringing. So here it is, you can press power and volume up together to either vibrate your device, mute it, or cycle through the modes. So when you use cycle through modes, it is going to act like the OnePlus alert slider. Then you can configure your phone ringtone. Other than that, you also have pulse. So this is your lock screen visualizer, and here are the different options on your screen right now. It does look pretty cool and pretty dope. Then you also have switches for all these options, along with the option to disable screenshot sound in case you want to do that. Next up, we have security. So in security, you only have fingerprint lock and unlock. Face unlock or IR face unlock will not be implemented on Evolution X until and unless Motorola and Google give the custom ROMs permission to do that. Then we have system. So in system, we'll go into gestures. You can of course quickly open your camera by pressing the power button twice. It works from any screen. Then you have system navigation. So three different options: 3-button navigation, 2-button navigation, or full screen gestures. Tap on settings. You can configure the sensitivity for the left edge and the right edge. Then the amount of screen height to be used as a touchable region for the back gesture. You can configure the dead zone. Do you want to see the pill or not? Then go into advanced gestures, and this is your long swipe options. So let us enable this, and left long swipe action. Let us say I want to take a screenshot, right? So left long swipe, bam, screenshot taken, works like a boss. Similarly, you can configure the long right swipe action as well. And then you also have the vertical left swipe action. So this is your L style. So let us say I want volume panel, and now if I do something like this, it should open the volume panel. It of course is going to take me some tries. So let me try it one more time. Try this. Nope, not working. All right, I finally got it to work. So you don't have to like swipe too much. You just do something like this, and bam, there it is, volume panel in the building. And you can configure this for your right swipe action as well. And you can also configure the gesture bar length. Do you want to have haptic feedback for the back gesture? And yes, you do have the option to hide the ugly back arrow as well. Then you have prevent ringing. So we already talked about this. Other than that, you also have swipe to screenshot. So 3-finger screenshot is present. And what type of screenshot do you want to take? Do you want full screen screenshot, or do you want a partial screenshot? So here it is. 3 fingers works like a boss, and then partial screenshot in the building. Tap on the check mark, bam, works like a boss without any issues. Then you also have power menu. So this is your device controls, and this here is a demo of the device controls. The cat controls which you see, you have the option to enable or disable them. Then you also have switch screen off. So double tap to sleep on the status bar. Bam, there it is, working like a boss with no issues to report. Then skip music tracks. So you can use the volume rocker to skip the tracks when the screen is turned off. And you also have adaptive playback. What does adaptive playback do? Well, feel free to pause the video and read what is besides this I button. That is going to tell you what adaptive playback does. Next up, those of you who do not like the notch and want to hide it, make sure you have enabled developer options. Once you are in developer options, you need to scroll down a little, and in the drawing section you will have the option for display cutout. Hide it, and bam, once you hide the notch, the corners are still rounded. So that is something which should be appreciated by the developers of EvoX. Next up, we can head over to the Evolver, wherein we will find customizations specifically done by the developers over at EvoX. First option is about Evolution X. So you have the Telegram group, Twitter page, GitHub, all about Team Evolution X in case you want to know about the developers. Then you have themes. So yes, here are the different dark theme options, and we already talked about the fact that once you enable dark theme, color bucket is going to be enabled, and you can choose between these different options for your dark theme. Next up, you can customize the lock screen clock, and here are the different options which are available. And you also have a checkbox to show the status bar area for weather and other information. Then we also have the accent color picker. So here is the RGBs, and in case you want to enter a hexadecimal code, you have the option for that as well. Other than that, once you enable this, you will not be able to use the pre-baked accent colors. Then you can also change the headline and body font, and you do have a bunch of different options. Similarly, you can change the icon shape, the status bar icon style. So right now it is set as device default. That is how it looks like. Let us try to change this to say Kai, and bam, there it is. You can see that the Wi-Fi icon has now changed to the Kai style. Then you can also change the volume panel style. Right now we are using the AOSP expanded style. Let us try changing this to say the compact style, and bam, there it is. That is how the compact style is going to look like, and you also have audio and tiled there as well. Then you can add a custom header to your quick settings. So right now it is disabled. Let us enable it. You can choose the header provider. Let us use the image collection, and header image collection, let us use flat scenery. And then you can also browse the headers which are present. Let us use the beach 3 style, and there it is. You can see the style was set without any issues. Next up, you can also change the quick setting tile style. Right now we are using the default style. Let us change it to say neon light, and bam, there it is. That is how the neon light style is going to look like. Then you also have quick setting tile disco toggle. Tint the quick setting tiles with the accent color. You can configure the status bar opacity, gradient, and the panel opacity as well can also be configured. Next up, you have customization for your status bar. So you can customize the clock and date. Where do you want the clock, left, center, or right? Do you want to see the seconds? Then you can also enable to see the date, small font size, normal font size, and you can also configure the date style, format, and the position as well. Then you can customize your battery bar. So where do you want the battery bar? Hide it, status bar top or status bar bottom. And you can also configure the different colors, thickness, alignment, charging animations. All these things can be customized for the battery bar. Then status bar battery indicator. What do you want? These are your different options. Let us say text, and bam, there it is. Text, battery in the building, and battery percentage when the device is charging. You have a toggle for that as well. Next up, we have customization for the traffic indicators. So where do you want your traffic indicator? Do you want it in the status bar, or do you want it in the expanded status bar header? Then what is the activity type you want to see? Both upload, download, or dynamic. Then you can configure the threshold, and if you want to see the arrows for the traffic indicators or not. Then you can configure what all icons you want to see in your status bar using the icon manager. Then if you want to see 4G instead of LTE, use the old style mobile data icons. Then you have setting for voice over Wi-Fi icon, volt icon, and roaming indicator toggles are also present. Next up, we have customization for the notifications. So here you have customization for heads up notifications, and you also have a stop list and a blacklist for heads up notifications where you can add or delete applications. Then in case you want to see notification headers and this conversations, this is the notification header which they are talking about. Then if you want to see or hear a notification sound when the screen is on, you have a toggle for that as well. Vibrate for notifications, show a kill app button in the notification long press menu. Then you have battery light settings as well. So notification light, you can configure what all apps are going to have access to the notification light. The battery light colors can be changed, but unfortunately the LED on the Poco F1 is white only, so forget about that option for us. Then you also have screen edge lighting and customization for screen edge lighting, wherein you have the option of using a custom color for your screen edge lighting in case you want to. Then you also have in-call vibration options, so vibrate on connect, vibrate on call waiting, and vibrate on disconnect. Next up, we have customizations for quick settings. So where do you want the battery percentage? You have different options for that. Do you want a battery estimate or not? So as you can see right now, as soon as I access my quick settings, it tells me that 1 day and 12 hours. So this is the battery estimate which they are talking about. Then you have quick setting pull down. So let me choose right. Now if I swipe from the right hand side, my quick settings panel will be expanded. Then you also have smart pull down, vibrate on touch when touching the quick setting tiles, disable quick settings when the device is locked. Do you want the edit icon in the footer or not? Quick setting footer text. So here it is. Let us say keep evolving, and bam, here it is. Keep evolving near the edit icon. Works like a boss. Then you can configure where you want to see the brightness slider. Do you want to see the auto brightness icon or not? And if you want to see the brightness slider at the bottom, bam, brightness slider moved at the bottom, and this A here is the automatic brightness icon which they are talking about. Then you can also configure the icons or the number of icons which you want to see in your quick settings in portrait mode and in landscape mode, along with the toggle to enable or disable showing of tiles titles. Next up, we have customization for the power menu. So here are your AOSP settings. We already talked about these. Then in case you want to see the advanced reboot, you have a toggle for that. And if you want to see screenshot, screen record, and hide on lock screen, you have toggles for all of these. And there it is. You can see advanced, screen record, screenshot, all the options were added without any issues. Next up, we have gestures. So you have AOSP settings. We already talked about these. Then if you want screen off power button torch, you have a toggle for that. Let us try it. Bam, there it is. Works without any issues. Next up, we have automatically turn off the torch. So we want it never, 1 minute or 2 minute. Then if you want to change the brightness by sliding across the status bar, you have a toggle for that as well. Then you also have the option to configure your double tap gestures. So double tap on the lock screen to put the device back to sleep. We already checked that. Let us check it one more time. Here it is. Double tap to wake works. Double tap to sleep works without any issues as well. Next up, we have customization for the lock screen. So do you want fingerprint authentication vibration? You have a toggle for that. Screen of fingerprint, you have a toggle for that as well. Then what all elements you want to see on your lock screen. So you can enable or disable all these options. You have status bar, hide the lock icon, lock screen charging info. You can customize the lock screen shortcut. Let us say Chrome, and right shortcut, let us say launch the Play Store. Let us give it a try. Open the lock screen. Bam, there it is. Chrome and Play Store works without any issues. Next up, we have in lock screen customization is the option to change the charging animations. Here are the different options on your screen right now. Then if you want to enable media cover art, you have a toggle for that as well. And if you want to add a filter to that, you have options for those as well. Next up, we have navigation. We already talked about system navigation. Now if you choose the 3-button navigation, then you should have the other options enabled. Here it is. Once you do for the 3-button navigation, you can change the layout, invert the layout, and you also have a toggle to enable or disable the pixel animation. Here it is. Google Assistant works, but I think the pixel animation is not working right now. Next up, in the evolver, we have customization for your hardware button. So the first option in hardware buttons is click to partial screenshot. So here in short click of volume down and power button to take a partial screenshot, then volume rocker wake, volume key cursor control, and swap the volume buttons when the screen is rotated. Next up, we have animations. So in case you want to disable transition animations, you have a toggle for that. What is the screen of animation you're looking for? Let us try CRT, and bam, there it is. That is how the CRT screen of animation looks like. You can configure your scrolling cache. Then what is the quick setting tile animations you are looking for? Let us say flip and try to access the quick settings. There it is. flip animation working like a boss without any issues. You can also configure the animation duration and the interpolator effect as well. Next up we have miscellaneous. First option here is gaming mode. Once you enable it, you can configure your heads up notifications. Then you have different options. So do you want to disable notification feedback, disable auto brightness? What do you want to do with the ringer in gaming mode? Do not change, vibrate, do not disturb, or silent? And do you want a gaming mode indication or not? And then you can also add applications to the gaming mode. Once you enable gaming mode, you can also add the tile, and if you press and hold on the tile, it will take you to the gaming mode settings as well. Then if you want to launch the music app when the headset is connected, you have a toggle for that as well. A toggle to enable or disable the charging animation. Signature spoofing is present for those of you who use micro G. You can configure the default USB. Let us choose file transfer. Then where do you want to play the ringtones from if the headset is connected? Other than that, you also have the dose brightness options as well in case you want to configure those. Next up, we can check for safety net. So as you can see, my device is not rooted right now. I have only installed Magisk Manager to check for safety net, and as you can see on your screen, safety net passes without any issues. We can also go to the Play Store, and herein we can check for device certification. Here it is, device is certified. All of this means that you should be able to use your banking apps on this build without any issues. App opening animations, as you can see on your screen right now, pretty smooth, no jitters and no lags. Google feed, again, everything is smooth and fast, no jitters and no lags. Let us check the recents, no jitters, no lags here as well. So the ROM is pretty smooth. Next up, let us check for portrait light. So here it is. We can go into the photos section, try to edit a picture, and once you try to edit it, wait for this bar to load, go into adjust, bam, portrait light in the building, works without any issues, as you can see on your screen right now. Next up, we can check for YouTube media playback. So let me play this video and let us check the quality. Let us change it to 1080p50. As you can see, live caption is working without any issues. Maximize it, no jitters, no lags. Playback is smooth. Let us check for picture in picture. Now for picture in picture, you either need YouTube Premium or you do need to be in a specific country for it to work without having to purchase YouTube Premium. So as you can see on your screen right now, no issues with YouTube media playback. Everything is pretty smooth on this build so far. Next up, let us check for Widevine support. So here it is, DRM info application. As you can see, Widevine is set as L1. Let us open the Prime Video application, try to play a movie which I was watching, and continue watching. There it is, you can see on your screen right now, live caption works, but besides the timeline, there is no HD text, which means L1 playback is broken, and of course, you should know that you have to blame Xiaomi and Poco for this, nothing wrong with the ROM itself. Next up, let us check for music playback and if device controls in the quick settings panel are working or not. So let me play this piece of music and bam, there it is. You can see that media controls in your quick setting panels work without any issues. And there it is, peeps. That was our first look at Evolution X based on Android 11 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. And that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.